Hi everyone, I'm Danny Cook, co-founder of Abanuak and co-producer of our first board game, Deck the Halls. So this game is a collaborative decorating game where we're trying to decorate the house in time for Christmas. This is a 2 to 6 player cooperative game. That means it's you and a team against the board game. It takes 60 to 75 minutes generally to play, and it's for ages 10 plus, but really even younger kids can play it as long as there's somebody older around to help them out. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to play this game. I'll go over what's in the box and how turn sequences work and everything along the way. So with that, let's get started. To set up the game, first you're going to lay out the game board just like this. You're going to set all of the decorations. There's 6 different decoration types that you're going to set out around the game board. I have them all in front of me right now just for ease of video, but you can put them anywhere around the board that fits. You'll also set out the dice, and that look like these. They're all colored with decorations on them. And then you'll set out the distraction cards and the cheer cards. Those will also go anywhere around the board. There's also these double-sided distraction and cheer tokens. Cheer on one side, distraction on the other. Those can go near the distraction and cheer cards so that you have them handy. Finally, you will pick player cards. In this case, I picked 3 players to play this game: Crazy Kim, Seasoned Grandma, and Muscle Mike. You'll give the associated card to each player that's using them, and then you will take the associated meeple that goes with the card and place each meeple at the couch for the start of the game. Finally, you will take the clock token and put it on the start spot, which is December 23rd at 4 p.m. up in this corner, and then you're ready to play. So I'm going to talk through some of the unique things about the board so you know what's going on here. First off, you'll notice there's stars with yellow paths in between them. Those indicate spots that you can move to and paths that people can move along. So you'll also have, in the center of the board, you have drop boxes labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the decoration boxes that they'll be in, followed by the trash in case you don't pick up decorations in time. There are 10 locations to deck. They are indicated by having colored circles on them around that star. There are 6 indoor locations: the tree, 2 walls, 2 doors, and the fireplace. And then outside, there are 4 locations to deck. There's the side of the house, the front of the house, the lit deer, and the lit tree outside. The challenge is going to be to get all of those spots decorated before the clock strikes midnight on Christmas Day. Each location also has a drop box. That's where decorations will be dropped. So the objective of the game as a team is to decorate all 10 of the locations around the house. They're indicated by these colored circles, and basically when a spot has all of its decorations up, for instance this outside, when it has the hammer and the light, that spot is considered fully decorated. If you can fully decorate all 10 locations and not have any extra decorations in any of the drop boxes around the board or on any of the player cards in their hands before the clock comes all the way around the board and strikes midnight on Christmas, then you have won the game. If you aren't able to do that because either you run out of time or you run out of decorations to be able to complete it, then you've lost the game, and better luck next time. Next, I'm going to cover turn sequence. Each player's turn will follow the same sequence every time, and the turn sequence is conveniently located on your player card at the bottom here so you don't forget what to do in what order. So first is roll. You will take all 5 dice and roll them on a flat spot on the table or the board. Second is to stock box number 1. So you will look at the dice and put those decorations into center box number 1. In this case, we rolled 2 figurines, 2 ornaments, and 1 light token. Those all go into box number 1. If you roll a cheer or distraction, then you'll go on to the next 2 steps. A distraction is indicated by a broken ornament, and a cheer is indicated by a stack of presents. It matches the same symbol as the cheer and distraction tokens and the distraction and cheer cards. If you rolled either of those, you will do distractions first, then cheer, and then you move on to the main part of your turn, which is actions. Each player will complete 4 actions, and they can be the same action multiple times, different actions throughout, or a combination of the two. But the actions to choose from are also conveniently located on your player card. They're shown here in this middle section, and the options are to either move your player, pick up decorations, drop off decorations, transfer decorations to another player, or deck, which is the most important part of the game. Following your 4 actions, you will rotate the center boxes. So if there were decorations in other boxes, you would first rotate from box number 4 to the trash, box number 3 to number 4. In this case, we have nothing in number 2, and then from number 1 to number 2. Any decorations that weren't picked up or are still in the center do that rotation. And finally, you will rotate the clock token, advance the clock token. So you'll move the clock forward 1 hour, and then you will pass the dice to the next player, and it's their turn. Okay, so now I'm going to go through the actions in detail so that you understand what your options are. So first is move, and this one is pretty straightforward. You can move your player from one star to another adjacent star, moving along the paths indicated by a yellow line. Every time you move from one star to another star, it is 1 action. So if I needed to get outside to the tree drop box out here, and I'm seasoned grandma, I would take 1 through the door, 2, 3 actions just to get to that location. Next is pick up. Say I'm Crazy Kim and I move to the center, that's 1 action, and I want to pick up some decorations. Say I want to decorate the tree and it requires lights, ornaments, and greenery. And I have some of that in the boxes here. So Crazy Kim can take up to as many circles as she has open on her player card. In this case, she's not carrying anything yet, so she can take up to 3 decorations, and she can take them from different boxes. So she's going to pick up a light, an ornament, and a greenery, all for 1 action. And then she will place them on her player card to indicate that she is carrying them. Right now, her hands are full. Next, you can drop off. So Crazy Kim can move from the center to the tree, and she can drop off those decorations she just picked up. So she will take the decorations off of her player card and put them into the tree drop box. That is a drop action. Next is transfer. If Crazy Kim was carrying something that Muscle Mike needed, say she has these 2 figurines and Muscle Mike needs them next turn, she can move to him, and as long as he has space on his card, she can transfer decorations to him. And she can transfer as many decorations as she's able to, and he has space for 1 action. So that was 1 transfer action. Finally, we have deck, and this is the most complicated action. So say seasoned grandma has just moved to the wall drop box, and she wants to deck this location right here. So you'll notice in the center of the board is a decking order. So first off, decks have to follow the order of decking. You cannot put stockings up or figurines up until the hardware is in place to support them. So you'll look at the location you're at. In this case, we're here at the outside wall. It's got 2 gray circles for hardware, 2 green circles for greenery, and 2 purple circles for ornaments. You notice there are no stockings, figurines, or lights at this location. So she will have to deck this location in the order of hardware, greenery, then ornaments. Additionally, she has to have all the decorations of 1 type in that location in order to deck it. In this case, she has 2 hardware, so she will be able to deck those. There's only 1 greenery in the drop box, but on her player card, she's got a greenery and an ornament. So what she will do to deck this location, first she's going to say, I am decking the hardware. As a free action, she will drop everything she's carrying, whether she wants to or not. Then she will put up both hardware for 1 action. If she wanted to then deck the greenery, she could take another action to put the greenery up. However, there is only 1 ornament here, and the spot requires 2 ornaments. So she would not be able to deck both ornaments, or this 1 ornament. She would have to wait until another ornament is at that location or in her hands in order to deck that spot. So here's an important tip people frequently get wrong with moving. So you cannot move through the walls. So if Crazy Kim wants to go from this location in the center to this outside location here, she cannot go to this star and then pass through the wall out there. She has to follow the lines from one star to another. So she would take 1, 2, 3 movement actions to get to the location she's trying to get to. There's a back door here and a front door over here, and those are the 2 locations that you can pass between inside and outside the house. So cheer and distractions. If you roll a cheer or distraction card, as I indicated earlier, you're going to complete the distractions first and then the cheers. So distractions are indicated by the red. Obviously they say distraction, they have a broken ornament on them. You're going to flip the card over, read it, and then do what it says. In this case it says, a light strand isn't working, lose 2 actions this turn. You can help remind yourself by taking one of the distraction tokens, putting it on your character card, so that when you see your card, you know, oh, there's a distraction token there. That's right, I lost 2 actions this turn. Then at the end of your turn, you can put the distraction token back. You do distractions first, followed by cheer. So if you also rolled a cheer this turn, you would flip it over and do what it says. It says the tree was packed properly, saving you lots of time. Don't advance the clock token this turn. So same thing, you can take a cheer token and put it on top of the clock. That'll remind you at the end of the turn, oh yeah, we don't need to advance the clock this turn because we got that cheer card. Now, there are a few unique cases. You could roll 2 distraction cards and up to 1 cheer card in a single turn. If you roll 2 distractions, you will do them in order. So we've already lost 2 actions this turn. The next one says, an argument broke out over who gets to set the star on the tree. Place 1 distraction token on 2 separate character cards of your choice. These players lose 1 action on their next turn. So same thing, we would take the thing, the distraction token, put it on each character's card, and then they would remember when it gets to their turn, they've lost 1 action because of that previous distraction. If you draw 2 distractions and the first one causes you to lose your turn, then the second distraction goes to the next player on their turn. If you draw a distraction and a cheer, and the first distraction causes you to lose your turn, it's the same thing. The cheer will go to the next player and they will get to use it on their turn. One important note about distractions is that sometimes you will pull a distraction that does not cause anything to happen in the game. So for instance, if you pull a distraction that tells you that you cannot draw any hardware from box number 1, but box number 1 doesn't have any hardware in it, that has no effect on the game, so you would need to draw another distraction, and perform that action instead. You would keep doing that until you have a distraction that affects the game in some way. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the unique character abilities. There are 6 different characters, and each one has a unique ability that helps the team finish this job. So we'll start out by talking about Crazy Kim. She's pretty straightforward. She can move 2 spaces for each move action she takes. So if she wants to move 2 stars for 1 action, then she can do that. Next is Muscle Mike. Muscle Mike is super strong, so feel free to load him up with decorations. You'll notice that he has 5 circles indicating the decorations he can carry, so he can carry 2 more decorations than every other character. So just make sure to use him to carry stuff all over the place. Next is Organized Mom. She knows exactly where everything goes because she's keeping everything organized. So she can do drop actions for free, which means when she goes to a box and drops stuff off, it does not take up one of her actions that turn. Seasoned Grandma, she can do deck actions for free. It says once per location per turn. She can deck at 1 location, deck once for free, and then she can continue to use actions for further decks. But she could deck once for free at 1 location, move to another location, and deck once for free there if she has the supplies either in hand or at the location. And additionally, she could move back to the same location she's already been to and deck it again. As long as she moved away and back, she could deck that spot for free twice. The next 2 characters are the most complicated. If you're playing with less than 6 people, really if you're playing with less than 5 people, you may want to leave these 2 out the first time. They're very useful, but also a little bit difficult to get your head wrapped around when you're first learning the game. So first is Fix-It Dad. So at the beginning of his turn, for free, he gets to move
decorations backwards up to twice. So what that means, we have decorations here in box number 3 that he wants to keep from going to the trash. He can either move one decoration back 2 boxes, or he can move 2 different decorations back 1 box. And they don't have to be in the same box. So if it was like this, he can move 1, 2. That happens at the beginning of his turn for free. Additionally, if there are decorations in the trash, Fix-It Dad can repair one out of the trash for 1 action on his turn. So it's an additional action that only he can take. It costs him an action, but it removes it from the trash and puts it into box number 1. Fix-It Dad is very useful if you think you're going to run out of supplies. And last but not least is Helpful Sally. She is super helpful, which means that when she's in a location with somebody else, she can take a free action for each person at that location. That means if she moves to the center and there are 2 people there, she could take 2 free actions. If she then moves to the tree and there's 1 person standing there, she can take 1 free action. But if there's nobody else at those locations, she doesn't get additional actions. This makes her especially useful in large games with multiple players where there are people all over the board. She's not as helpful in a 2-player game because the times that she's running into the same person are less. And that covers all the people. So the object of the game is to decorate all 10 locations, indoor and outdoor, by fully decorating them before the clock comes around the board and strikes midnight on Christmas Day. If you manage to do that, and there are no extra decorations in any of the drop boxes around the board, and no decorations in players' hands, then you have won the game. If you can't do that before the clock strikes midnight, or if you run out of supplies before you can do it, then you've lost the game. However, if you run out of supplies, keep playing, because you never know. You might roll a cheer that gets you just what you need just in time to win. All right, that's how to play Deck the Halls. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or just want to check us out, our website is abbanuach.com. That's ABBANUACH.com. Or you can email us info@abbanuach.com, spelled the same way. Also, our Kickstarter is running. If you're one of the first 1,500 to get a copy, you will get it with free shipping, and you're guaranteed to get it by Christmas. So please check that out and consider donating to our Kickstarter.